What's going on, everybody, man? This right here is my first podcast video. Hope everyone enjoys this. We're talking about a lot of topics, and I really hope you enjoy it. Spam your rage, please spam rage. I want him to see this video, and I hope you sit down and enjoy, man. Open your mind to our opinions, and comment down below your opinions on topics. And I always want to voice myself. I always had a voice, and I always feel like, I was blessed with knowledge and a mind to, think a certain type of way. And I just hope you enjoy. And feel free to comment down below what you think on anything we talked about. It's a long video. We talked about a lot of stuff and a lot of different people, but I hope you found the time to watch it all. And appreciate you for clicking on this video. Spam rage, bro. His DMs, his chats, his comments. Add them in my comments. I want him to react to at least a section, clip sections, whatever, especially about DDG and so. And I'm out.
This shit actually apply directly to what's been on my mind and what you kind of want to talk about, because you want to speak on every finances and how it ties into the system and our world. So this is kind of basically about pocket watching, looking at other people in society. So I decided to the power of debt. I don't know how that works. Anyways, I said people put dollar amounts on the lives of others, and it's incredibly toxic. It can be seen in net worths of celebrities, and then I define pocket watching as the act of associating a person with a dollar amount. For example, asking somebody how much their shoes cost, and you have no plan on buying them. You just want to know how much somebody got, how much they spend on them. Yeah. Or asking somebody if their jewelry real,
it don't really matter.
It's a stone, And then I said, I know my jewelry is real when people ask about it, because the stories and experience and sentimental attachment to my jewelry is real, and the stories behind it is just real. And then basically went on and just say fuck the world and fuck everybody opinion.
Honestly, back to what you were saying, how am I making jewelry real? That's kind of I was thinking about that the other day. When people, I was had to come with my dad, because my dad, we was in the ATL, and then we came back here, and my dad was like, would you wear reps? And I think originally I said nah, because I used to wear reps when I was younger, because they used to buy them for me, and it's just on some shit I really didn't give a fuck. Yeah. But I think I was like, nah, because I want the real thing. And he was like, define real. He was like, you do know these China warehouses and wear shops that make these designers, these Jordans, these Rick Owens, it's the same material. It's just not branded by them. It's just a lookalike. So it's the same. It's the same shit. What defines real? The price. So they charging you $500 and they charge you $100. That makes it real. And because it says Rick Owens, it's just a word on it makes it real. That shit fake, bro. It's just material. It's just clothing at the end of the day. Oh yeah, and by the way, this kind of to touch on everything that DDG and Solluminati kind of honestly, I feel like their whole beef is pointless. I feel like DDG's standpoint is, in life, you get money. You supposed to get money, and that's pretty much how he explained it. Basically saying that, which he's right to a point, in the material world and the basics. You need to get money. You need money to live. You need money to eat. You need money to provide for your family, because the elites, or whoever you want to say, created this life, this system that we live in. We need to get money, and without money, which is only a paper, which is also material, it ain't real to a point. And yes, in the system that we live in, you need money. But I agree, you really can't call Solluminati crazy for the stuff he's saying, because at the end of the day, who cares about money? He's saying it you can live your life, because at the end of the day, we all gotta die. You live your life and be happy, bro, because we all gonna die. When you die, your soul gonna leave your body, or whatever you want to believe in, and that money's gonna be down here. Somebody puts a stamp on that shit and gives it the power that it has. That shit really just paper at the end of the day.
But it's at the same time, back to what you're saying, it's fake. It's fake and real at the same time. The system, whether you want to or not, you kind of subscribe to it and play a role in this system because it's our world. So unless you like moving off the grid, like making your own water, like hunting for your own food, and like you're not going to grocery stores, you like don't got no electricity, unless you're doing all those things and completely are out of the system and global like economy, then you contribute to the system and you have to play by the rules of the game, so to speak.
Yeah. But like when I kind of had some research a few years ago, like Nikola Tesla, you know Nikola Tesla, who what's the name? Elon Musk modeled his cars after the guy they said worked under dang, I'm having the brain freeze right now. What's the dude that created the light bulb?
Thomas Edison.
Thomas Edison, yeah. You know, Thomas Edison created DC and Tesla went to AC, and basically they say in Tesla's notes that over 100 years ago he created something to where like we really can get electricity through the air, but why are we still using these light poles and shit, and why are we still using all that is because money, because they can profit off you paying light bills. If it's wireless like Wi-Fi and shit, if electricity's like that, because there's no way to pay for that shit no more because it's through the air.
That's the same thing with gas and oil. We got electric cars.
Yes.
Niggas don't want to convert from gas to electric cars. They making too much money and profiting off that shit too much. They gonna drain that shit till it ain't no more petroleum, no more oil, no more natural gas. They gonna drain the fuck out that shit. And then at that point they might, you feel me, transition. Like they already starting to transition now. It's gonna be another 50 years before we see a full transition and cut off of gas and oil.
And then people like to be like, man, we like gas because how that shit sound, man. Come on, bro. You can really have electric cars sounding like anything. It's just the sound that really, it's all it is a sound that you like hearing. But like really, that's just, I feel like that's a minor and such a small pivot, such a small transition that like engineers and people can do to like make you enjoy the sound of your car, which is really honestly trivial if you want to be 100. But I can't really talk because I want a loud, fast car to a point. But
that
like,
shit nice, and that's why it's a market for it, and that's why they still selling. But you got to look at it from both ways. Like, this is a market because people buying, but it's also people selling and shit. And like, it's a whole industry, and that's how industries and systems work. Like, it's multifaceted, multi-layered. Like, you got to look at it from so many different perspectives to really grasp the full picture.
Gotcha. Yeah, that do make sense though. By the way, this is like first episode of this little podcast. I always felt like people should speak on stuff, and I feel like certain people don't have the knowledge, or certain people don't really care to grab certain knowledge. But Mike, I know Mike's a deep thinker as well, and yeah, I always wanted to do some shit like that. I've been talking about it for years. I feel like I always had a voice. I always wanted to make it like a little change since I was in like middle school, and like I feel like certain people don't really be trying to push towards that certain goal like I am. So I just, you know what I'm saying, just grinding. At the end of the day, kind of grind. You see, he got his notebook out, man. Old story, bro.
Like September 20. I don't even know what year this is. This probably like, it's got to be 21, maybe 22. But I was literally like, I wrote about talking to you.
Yeah.
And like how we think alike and how like we
for real. I'm in that bit. Oh shit! I see my name, boy. That's crazy. Today, yeah, September 28th, 2021. Today I said he is a spiritual being. I think it's safe to say we think alike. He is greatly inspired by Josh Say on Freud, like XXX, long live XXX. You choose how you are inspired. You choose how you inspire. Be inspired. Be inspirational. Be aware. That shit fire. And it's crazy because I still have a memory from 2021. Not gonna say no names, but I remember it was people that was saying like, damn, kind of weird having a notebook you just writing bullshit in. And this like in high school, when we were still in high school. And I don't know, bro, like, that's what I'm saying, like the reality we live in, the false world, false concept, bro. I feel like people just so stuck on like perception, how stuff look. And I feel like I feel like some knowledge is so like esoteric. That's the perfect word. Like so much stuff in the world we live in is so esoteric. Only a few, like as Solluminati or somebody say chosen ones. Esoteric, the definition means only it's hidden knowledge that only few will understand. So I feel like a lot of stuff you gotta know or be in the knowing to understand, because the average person is just gonna do average person things. Get money, fuck hoes, live, talk about bullshit, have kids, eat, sleep, die. American dream. Like I always say, man, what makes money so important, bro? Status. Honestly, I feel like we all didn't come to this earth, this plane, like just for status. We came for like a purpose. And like when you really think about it, all money does is put people into a certain position to where you looked at as more, like if I had 100,000 and he only has 1,000, I'm looked at as more successful and more important than him because I got more money than him. Take that away, we the same person. Oh, I drive a Lamborghini. Oh, let's idolize him because he has a materialistic vehicle that can go 200 miles an hour and he doesn't. Like, that shit's pointless.
When you think about it, say you got 100,000 and I got 1,000, right? Mm-hmm. That puts you in a more favorable position, and that gives you more opportunities and open more doors for you. And me with my $1,000, yeah, I might have some opportunities and I might have some avenues and things I can do, but with your 100,000, you can do way more and see way more things that I couldn't even think about and can't even like imagine. That's not even fathomable to me. Mm-hmm. So like, I think that's how, going back to the system, like poverty and systematic oppression, like that's another way to control and kind of inhibit people from doing certain things, and also grant access to other groups and people by using this value and monetary value that we place on money, like with opportunities and access to certain things.
Kind of going back to what happened yesterday with the Constitution, affirmative action.
Yeah.
That goes back to that.
With my dad.
It goes back to that, for real.
That's exactly what it is. That's all it is. We don't want to see people of color in favorable positions with the same opportunities and same access that people that they have.
And then let's go back to why. Why aren't people of color wanting to be viewed as like the white people? Why do you think? Why do you think it's even like that?
Well, these white people are in power in a way. Mm-hmm. And at the bottom line, that's really what it is. Like, they have the power to make this. If you have the power to make decisions like this, then you have the power to control the system, and you have the system in a grip. And that's what they want. They want to keep that power. And as we move up and get into these Fortune 500 companies and start to make more money and start to build our revenue and move from the $1,000 bracket up into the $50,000, $75,000, and $100,000 bracket, you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Then we become equal, and they don't want that. To have power, you have to be able to oppress these people in a way and control the people below you in a way. So with us having the same amount of power and same opportunities and same grasp on the world, then it's not, they lose that power and they don't want that.
And why do you think they want all that power?
That's a good question.
Great question.
I feel like, people are naturally power hungry in a way. Like, once you get a certain amount of power, then it inflates your head, and like you just get hungry for more and more and more. And I feel like it eats you up inside, and it turns you into almost a monster in a way. And it drives you to do kind of unthinkable things to keep that power and maintain it and control it and be able to control others. Like, once you have that control over others, then you start to like crave that and want more, and like go on certain power trips and things like that. Same thing with the police. Like, I seen the video of it was on TikTok, bro, got pulled over, and long story short, they pulled him over for like 10 or some bullshit like that. He like, I got a ticket, yada yada yada, I got papers I can show to you. Like, this is really nothing. Mm-hmm. And so they try to like up the ante a little bit. They asked if he got weapons in the car. He said he got like a Smith & Wesson in the trunk. So then they red flags go off. So then then she go tell her, I don't know if it's a supervisor or like somebody above her, somebody she's working with, he got a gun in the car. So then they come back and question him, and then they get to the point where they want him to step out the car, right?
That's great.
And so he start asking for a supervisor. Like, I want to speak to a supervisor. Can you radio him? Yada yada yada. Like, I want to talk to a supervisor. And then at this point, she pulled her gun and pointed at his head. He's not a threat. He doesn't have a weapon on his person. Like, he got his hands like visible. Like, he's not a threat at all.
Damn.
So she pulled her gun just as a power trip to maintain that control. When her supervisor comes, then they already know they in the wrong. Like, they know they doing some bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So in an attempt to maintain that power, it's successful because he is unarmed. He can't do anything but comply at this point. I mean, he can, but that it don't give her the right, but it can be justified in the system in the crooked world we live in for her to abuse that power. And how do you do it?
I don't even know how I missed that bug, brother.
Yeah, it's just power hunger and power trips.
That's crazy.
Wanting to maintain and abuse that power, so to speak.
I feel like, by the way, we are like not trying to attack a certain people or nothing like that. We're just, expressing our mind on certain things. But I feel like, back to when I first asked you, why do white people want this power? I feel like it kind of goes back into like thousands of years ago to a point. I feel like, as you say, if you read it, you do studies, they say blacks ran the world or whatever, and then came the white man through the Romans, the Greeks, which honestly they say in history that they weren't fully white necessarily, but they transitioned. But I feel like it's all a lack. If you go on like a deep spiritual level, they say that our melanin allows us to like transcend like dimensions and shit, like how we were talking about the other day, lucid dreaming, astral projection, your third eye, your pineal gland, and all that. They say white people's pineal glands are calcified. They also say there's a reason why white people are more likely to get skin cancer over us because they lack melanin in their body. And basically they say that our melanin, honestly they say there's so much crooked shit going on in this world, they say that our melanin holds so much weight and holds so much power to where like they kidnap black people, millions of kids, millions of black people every year for their organs, for their skin, for their pigment, and going for $1 billion, $1 trillion, business type shit, like under the table wicked shit, like
black market shit.
Yeah, black market shit. And I feel like it goes back to like power, it goes back to like spiritual power, it goes back to kind of like spirituality as well.
I said with power comes the burden of responsibility. So, I don't know, I feel like people lose sight of the responsibility. Like once you get power, like yeah, you have power, but it's so much more that comes with power. And if you're like using it the right way, then there's so much more than like being powerful and controlling the people. Like you have to do it ethically, and you have to kind of contribute and make sure that everybody is kind of being elevated in a sense. That's if you are a good leader and powerful in the right way, then you want to see what's best for everybody. You want to see everybody kind of succeed and prosper and go in the right direction towards progress. And in this country, I feel like we're really moving backwards in a sense. Like we're getting rid of affirmative action and like not allowing, say, people from overseas, like geniuses from Asia and Africa and India to come. Well, India isn't Asia, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah. To come into our country and kind of fill these spots and use their knowledge in a way as instruments for progress. Instead of doing that, they want to keep the same average people, like white people, so to speak, in those positions. So that's what they're doing with that.
Yeah, that is kind of fucked up though. Like you really think deep into that shit for sure.
Yeah. With democracy, you're supposed to be able to hold people accountable. And that's where like voting and kind of using your voice in a democracy is so important and vital. And I say that, and I ain't even voted yet. I'm 19 and I have never voted.
Okay. I'm kind of like the disconnect. You can see like me, I'm more also, Mike, I feel like Mike, you're tapped into the political side. You're kind of like my homeboy MJ, if you watch this. You're tapped into the political side and the spiritual side. I'm more so like disconnected. Sometimes I try to be like disconnected from reality, like, cause I try to like, cause at the end of the day, how I look at life as, for one, I feel like we make our own reality. Start there.
Yeah,
Like it's
that's-
already
that's
been
what I was
proven.
heavy on.
Yeah, it's already been proven that your brain makes all this shit real. Like
We find shit.
like if you look up the double slit experiment, they say scientists, this old experiment too, the scientists, everything we have in our life, I feel like it's a saying that everything you've seen on movies, we've already had it 50 years prior. So a lot of shit that we know is old knowledge. Like they on some different shit, like this AI shit that's coming out. I feel like they've already had a lot of that shit that's coming out, but that's off track. But I feel like with your mind, you make everything. Back to the double slit experiment. They basically, scientists say that they shot particles through a slit, and it's a particle, it's an atom, it's a proton, neutron, electron. You expect them to move erratically, and that's what they did. But they said when your eyes aren't looking at these particles, they're moving in waves. Why the fuck is a particle moving in a wave? But why the fuck is it moving away when you're not looking at it, but when you're looking at it, it's moving in a particle? And why? And then tell me why they say the scientists put like a camera back there to see why the fuck it was doing that shit, and it started moving in particles again. And they said once you shut the camera off, it started back moving in waves. So that's telling you that particles, electrons, for one, everything that we see is made out of elements. Everything that we see is made out of particles and electrons, and that tells you that everything's aware. That means that down to the subatomic roots, that this shit, everything in our reality is aware. So that just goes back to your mind. Your mind, when you're looking at some shit, that means that it's real. So like I'm looking at Mike right now, I'm looking at all this shit, it's in my focus. But like by that definition, everything that I don't see that's behind me and everything that's behind you not even there, because it's not even in your reality at the moment. That shit's not even in your, it doesn't even exist. So that goes back to why do celebrities and all these successful people always talk about law of attraction, talking about some, if you're thinking in your mind, if you do these certain methods, writing on paper, you visualize yourself being successful because you got magic. Niggas try to say you don't have powers. Nigga, that's a fucking power at the end of the day. Like, you can think of some shit and you work your ass off for that shit. Like, look up Will Smith and Oprah Winfrey and Steve Harvey telling you, like, Jay-Z riding through neighborhoods and shit, talking about looking at the house they wanted, and they gonna get that house, $10 million house. Next thing you know, he grind for some years, he a billionaire, bro. That shit is mental. Everything's mental. As above, so below. This universe is mental. Like, I even have a book I read. I don't know which book I read it from back in middle school when I was heavy on reading. Basically, it was about how as above, so below. So when you look up into the sky, you can't, not right now where we are, you don't see no stars. But typically, you can see stars in the moon and shit. And they say that inside your mind, there's around, when you go deep into your mind, it's like a cloud, and there's stars in your mind type shit. So basically, meaning that the universe is a projection of yourself type shit. That shit deep. Like, you are the universe to a point which you're living inside of. Like, I was just watching some shit about that Titanic shit that just happened. How they were saying the niggas, like, yeah, I know you've been seeing all the jokes. And that shit, I can't lie, some of that shit be funny. Like, just a little bit. Some of that shit do be funny. But, like, I seen Key Glock say, don't ask me why or ask me how, but the space, the ocean is space. And then everybody was like, how the fuck is the ocean space? Playing him like a goofy, which is what our world tends to do. When you say some shit that don't go with like an agenda, or you say some shit that's out, like, I feel like they try to put your mind in a box, and you be outside the box like this light right there, bro. Don't be the fly or the mosquito flying at the light. Be the fly or the mosquito that's flying away from the light. But like, they clown you once you say some shit that's different. But back to what I was saying about like the ocean being space. They like as above, so below. They saying the waters. They said even in the Bible they said the waters above the waters in the dome type shit. They saying we're like in the dome or some shit. But yeah, I feel like I don't know, as above, so below though.
So definitely some motherfucking aliens in the ocean.
Like, I was seeing some deep shit today about sirens and mermaids and shit. Like, I believe that it's a lot more to our world than we're presented. Like, they get you. Like, DDG was saying this shit. DDG was saying, bro, Solluminati took all the shrooms, now his brain is fried. Nigga thinks, the Matrix. Bro, none of that shit real. Selling your soul, all that shit fake. But, but like, you really can't say no nigga, like, fried his brain with shrooms. Because shrooms do, like, open you up. And And then back to like the shrooms talking about fried your brain and shit. I feel like that ain't frying your brain. Anything from the earth.
It makes you
Yes, it opens your brain.
Neurological pathways in your brain and allows you to do shit that regular people would think and see shit that other people can't.
Because back to what they said, don't they say we only use 10% of our brain anyways? So
I've heard that one.
Yeah, I don't know how true that is, but like just hypothetically think that is true. You're when you take a shroom, and most people, like I know plenty of people that take the shrooms or went on ego deaths or seen certain things in their reality. I feel like that shit just opens your mind to what's going on, like
something like that's a regular person that's never experienced that could ever imagine or like even process or think about. Like you don't even know, like if you never experienced an ego death, you don't even know what that like it's like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can never encounter that experience without actually going through it.
Yeah, and for the ones that you watching this like ego deaths and shit, basically like your ego is, well, there's different types of egos. Like one ego, they'll say that's your persona type shit, who you think you are. That's basically what it is, who you think you are. But also there's another ego. It's the human ego that we all have. We all got an ego inside of us that wants to live and doesn't want to die. So when you at night and you sleeping, it's that voice in your head. You could say that's your subconscious mind that wants you to always live. Why do you think when you're in a shootout or if you at a party, it's gunshots, niggas running and shit? Why do we run? Because you got fight or flight. That's just your ego, your subconscious. Your ego wants to live. Your ego never wants to die. Your ego doubts you. So yeah, and when people say they have ego deaths, they get rid of that. They get rid of that thought or that, because at the end of the day, the universe is mental. The universe is a thought. Goddamn.
I feel like, I don't know how much this applies exactly to what you're saying, but I definitely feel that you are a reflection of your experience. So like everything that you've experienced or seen or thought or heard in your past, you kind of internalize those things and start to project those over time. Like memories, you project those and they become who you are in a sense and kind of build you as a character almost. Also, back to what you were saying about like observing the particles and like how they will move in a wave if you look away. But once you go to observe them, even with a camera or your eye as a lens, then they are particles, right?
They are, so, they particles.
So, say like an analogy, I think directly correlates to that, and kind of might be more like understandable for somebody. It's say like a tree fall. You know, people say if a tree falls and nobody is around, do you still like this? Nobody's around to hear it. Does it still make a sound? Yeah. So like, if a tree fall out here, nobody's around for a 30-mile radius, right? If that tree fall, I mean, if we right here, then of course that tree gonna be loud as fuck, right? But if nobody's around to hear it and process that sound, then it's just vibrations. Exactly. So depending on how you are observing something and how, not even how you are observing something, but how something is being observed dictates kind of how it behaves and how the laws of our world apply to that thing.
Bro, that's actually like, I never really heard that analogy, but that's crazy analogy. Like, I've heard the analogy that, bro, I've heard a crazy analogy. So basically they said that it's a concept saying that us humans, we live on the earth, and people like to say it's a matrix. And if you even think about the matrix, what is the matrix? It's the construct that your mind creates. So going back to the movie, like you feeding off your mind is in a machine. In our case, we're in like a prison. Not even, you don't even gotta say prison, we're in like a game, whatever you wanna say. But simulation. Better word. Even better word. Yeah, that's a great word. Great word. I cannot think of that shit. But I heard a theory that they say that humans on Earth create, like, since our minds make all this shit real, like, if all the humans on this planet were wiped out right now, the Earth wouldn't even be real no more, because we're all gone. And our minds make this reality, this plane real, this simulation real. Like, we were all to die right now, this shit would cease to exist. Like, watch the anime. I always go back to animes because, like, anime culture love, like, putting, like, deep thinking in it. If you ever go back to the anime Neon Genesis Evangelion, like, at the end of that shit, I don't know if you've seen that, but that shit, like, when they, like, talk about God destroying reality and shit, and, like, everything's about to cease to exist, like,
I don't think I agree with that.
You don't?
Like, in the sense that, say we all humans die right now, the earth will flourish. Like plants and everything will grow like crazy. Like I kind of get what you're saying. Like nobody will be here to observe it. So in that sense, it won't exist and be observable or kind of tangible to us because we'll be dead. But like the trees still gonna grow. They still will get the sunlight and the rain and nutrients from the ground that they need. So like, no, we can't be here to experience it and see it and kind of report it, I guess, but it'll still be here. Like I think here will still exist whether we are here or not.
You know,
fuck my brain, bro.
That's cool. Hey, bro, I'm just a big believer in like that humans, we're the sentient life forms on this planet and we're the light beings. So without us in this plane, we make this plane. Like,
I do feel like,
even with reincarnation,
I feel like time, if humans did not exist on Earth, I feel like time would not either. Because time is a construct. Time is an idea. Time is fabricated by us. It's a system. So if nobody is here to kind of use that system or kind of dictate the construct and idea and system of time, then I think it would kind of cease to exist. So like, yes, the sun would rise, yes, the sun would set, yes, we would have days, quote unquote, you know what I'm saying? We give that a name, and things would still like grow and move and progress, but I don't think it wouldn't be on the time, because that's a concept that we have instilled and applied to the world. Like, time is not like gravity, you know what I'm saying? We didn't make up gravity. Gravity is here and it's like, I would say tangible, but it's science behind it, you know what I'm saying?
some people say gravity, that's not real. I'm not gonna get into that concept because I'm not familiar or educated on that concept.
Yeah.
But basically, I did hear something about how gravity is something we also created. Like they're gonna say, yeah, we're the Earth's gravitational pull that holds us down, but I'm not really familiar. I just know they say something. I might look into that, but I can't really explain it. I'm not gonna be the one that explains that. I just know that people say that, just like the flat earthers say the Earth's flat type shit.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, but trying to draw the connection between time and gravity. Time is a construct created by humans. Gravity, maybe humans created gravity, but I doubt it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not buying that. Not yet, at least. I'm not.
Until I get more information on the concept.
Maybe if you convince me, I have an open mind.
Yeah,
you feel me?
You
but like,
elaborate.
I'm not buying it.
You gotta elaborate.
Yeah, but time, you can definitely get behind and definitely understand how time is a construct that humans created to organize our world and our system and be on one accord, in a sense.
Yeah, time not real, bro. Like, bro, you even go back to like subatomic particles and shit. Like, you shrink down to a microorganism or even smaller to a particle, time is completely different for them than us, right?
True.
Honestly, you can even say that shit for a tree in us. Like, like
lifespans and stuff.
Yes, the lifespans, but time is completely different. Like I seen Chippy Red and Mike Tyson on their podcast the other day, how Mike said, Mike as a deep thinker, they would call his ass cuckoo, but that nigga was talking some shit. But Mike said, bro, what if, how in the Bible they said these people lived into 900 and shit, what if their whole system of time was different? So what if, how we're saying we're only 20 and 30 and 100, these niggas were 900. Their units of measurements were completely different. Or even back to what you were saying, how the sun gonna rise and shit. I've even seen the concept of how the sun is God. So like, cause like, if the sun didn't rise tomorrow, we would all die. Everything would die. Cause the sun gives us light. The sun gives us energy. Our melanin, our vitamin D, which the doctors make us take every day for the rest of our life. They try to make you take vitamin D. The earth would freeze to death, they say. So I've heard the theory that they say like when you're born, your soul like comes from the sun, like shoots down from the sun, and when you die, your soul shoots back up to the sun. Even with Jesus, like there's a concept in Christianity that they say the whole concept of Christianity, the Jesus outlook is from the sun. Like if you ever look at pictures of Jesus, he always has a sun behind him, a halo, and Jesus had 12 disciples. That there's 12 zodiac signs for 12 different months of the 12 positions that the sun is in each month. You got the winter solstice, the summer solstice. So yeah, it's a lot of concepts, and that's like, even to get off track, like niggas don't believe in zodiac signs. When niggas say that, I get what they saying, how they be like, bro, you can't classify someone as in this concept. I get that it got watered down in this day and age and shit, but like there's a reason our ancestors created zodiac signs, and they studied these babies and these kids and how they operated, and like why the sun be in certain positions at certain times of the year. So like, come on now, like you can't just say that shit straight bullshit, bro. Like that's an ancient concept, for real.
Yeah. I feel like the typical person isn't gonna like
think that deep.
Yeah, they're not gonna have the patience. They're not gonna have the time, but not the patience to kind of sit down and understand and learn and educate themselves on this system and what happened ancient, like 1,000 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So
typical person's a dumbass.
Yeah, definitely. Typical person don't even got attention to detail. The typical person don't even
give a fuck. Typical person wanna smoke that weed, fuck that hoe, have them kids, and die and get that money. Shit, hey, like in the Matrix, what Morpheus told Neo, you seen that shit? Morpheus said we typically don't save people once they hit a certain age, because you know they say we all like, when you hit the age around like 15, you're kind of shaped out to be the person you're gonna be for the rest of your life. Obviously, you can change and grow, but most of the time, your mind is already made up. And like when I was 14, 15, I was pretty much like not the same nigga I am now, but like I had the same thought process. The same process of which I did things and how I operated. Obviously, I grew and learned, gained more experience, because that's all it is in life that separates you from another person, the experiences that you have. But yeah, that's why they say you can't save people once they get past certain age. Like I be having these talks with my granny. My grandma would be like, shut your crazy ass up. My granny is from the fucking 50s. She has a whole different mindset than we have.
It's closed. My mom like a steel trap. And I don't know way that it's gonna try new information. Is stuck on what she knows.
They stuck on what they know from the 60s when fucking MLK was back there preaching to them, and when they had to drink from the black water fountain and the white water fountain. So obviously her mind's gonna stick to how it's always gonna be for the rest of their life. You know what I'm saying? And that's a concept in itself, like that Martin Luther King shit, that Malcolm X shit, and like Black Power. That's a whole concept in itself. Black people are in the position we are today. They said, why do we spend $1 trillion every year and we don't own shit in this world? Because they're giving the white man all our money. And the only
thing get shit, they destroy it and find a way to fuck it up.
Think about it. Back in the
system is against us, and the odds are all stacked against us.
That's fucking crazy though. Like back in the 60s, Martin even said before he got murdered, he was like, I feel like I led my people into a burning house. He even said that shit. And when you really think about it, bro, yes, we were segregated. Yes, they beat the hell out of us. They beat the shit out of our ancestors and shit, which ain't funny. They beat the shit out of us and all that. But we had our own water fountains. We had our own movie theaters. You know, we had Black Wall Street. Look it up. We had our own airports. What the white man did, they came and burnt that shit down. Our own hospitals. But then we got integrated in with the white people, and all that shit went away.
Just because we had, yes, in some cases like Black Wall Street, we had our own things that prospered and were successful. But in other cases, so you got a black water fountain, or you got a black school, or you got a black something else. It's not that separate but equal shit. Like, black schools were not funded and given the same, black children in black schools were not given the same opportunities as white children in white schools. So yes, they were separate. Yes, we had our own shit, but the playing field wasn't equal. Like, it was maybe equal in a sense, but it wasn't what's the word I'm looking for? It wasn't
balance. Is that what you're trying to say?
more or less. It's another E word that it sounds similar, but it's not.
Equilibrium. I'm just naming shit. I'm just naming shit.
It wasn't equitable.
Okay.
Like the playing field. Yes, we had our own separate shit. They had a school and we had a school, but the playing field, as far as opportunities and as far as textbooks and as far as quality of water fountains, the shit was not equitable. You know what I'm saying?
Now I would say is okay. So you feel like our ancestors did the right thing, which want to be accepted into the white man's society. Okay, why didn't we just? Okay, we might not have been on the same playing field, but trust and believe there was a lot of educated blacks that could have definitely, educated the youth at the time, and we could have went on a path of growth and like built that shit up instead of fuck that shit. They beat the shit out of us. I want to be accepted by them and basically get put into their system, which at the time I guess you could say they had the better system, or why couldn't maybe the best route have been, okay, get accepted by them, try to keep our system, but gain from them and build our own thing. But that wasn't really the mindset. The mindset was to be accepted.
The people in power wouldn't allow that to happen.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The system, it was stacked against, like with laws, they had the right to beat your ass. They had to right at a certain point in history, they had the right to kidnap you and chain you up and kill you if they wanted to. Like even after slavery, like the prison system, the 14th Amendment, like all that shit is designed to keep our people in bondage and keep our people subservient in a sense.
Hey, how you just said they had the laws to beat the shit out of us. I was with my granddad the other day. My granddad was born in 1950. He was like, them police sticks? They said back in the day we used to call those a nigga stick. Boy, they beat the shit out of your ass with one of them police sticks. They called a nigga stick. I was like,
now they call them night sticks.
Yeah.
Coincidence? Hell no.
Hell nah. Sagging niggas backwards. I'm trolling. I'm trolling. I'm trolling. Boy, that shit crazy. But yeah, you're definitely right. Like, how they always used to say, the fear of a black messiah, for sure. Fear of a black messiah. How they always say, all the black people that did rise got murdered. Facts. Yeah. Unless, which this could be a form of racism, because you never really know the truth unless you really get to the bottom of the truth. I've also heard concepts that Martin Luther and them niggas were puppets, but that could be a form of racism that they're trying to program my mind to think that those niggas weren't really doing shit, type shit, but you never really know.
That's
a possibility.
People conditioned, like the people in power have conditioned us with fear. Like, so.
Fuck fear. Real.
I mean, yeah, but till you got a Glock in your face.
On that.
Like, I mean, still, like you still pussy with a Glock in my face, but
nigga pull out that Glock in my face right now, that fight or flight mode activating on.
I mean, yeah, but I'm probably still call you a bitch ass nigga to your face for you. Like, if
before you blow my brains out, I'm gonna say something.
You feel me? Like, that's just who I am. Like, I'm not the type to back down at this point in my life. Cause I just stand on shit. Like, what I believe in, I'm gonna speak my mind, and especially if you put me in a fucked up position like that, where like fight or flight, and I can't necessarily, like, you're not finna shoot me in the back. You feel me? Like, you're gonna have to look me in my eyes and pull the trigger. Cause if not,
send me to the 48 dead world when I'm looking at your ass, nigga.
Like, you feel me?
Real
like,
shit.
And if you can't do that, you pussy.
You pussy.
You don't deserve to shoot me.
But that's fact though. That's a great mindset. Like, sometimes I feel I can catch myself practicing what I don't preach occasionally. Like, I can see myself, man, fuck that. I ain't scared of shit. But yeah, fam, you niggas pull out them straps, but like this happened a lot. Niggas pull out them bits, them guns. Niggas,
they don't got no fear. They don't got no respect. They hardly have intentions. They just got guns. So like, that's a different scenario. And they don't got no fucking aim. So they could be aiming at a nigga over there, and that bitch, they pull the trigger one time, that bitch recoil, fly over here, they pull the trigger again, and you fucking dead. It ain't have shit to do with you. That's reasonable. I'm gonna get the fuck out the way too. But if it's one-on-one and somebody, he's like, you got a gun in my face and you telling me to get in the trunk, you got to shoot me where I stand. Like, it's not, I don't know.
Get in the fucking trunk, nigga. Hell nah.
Fuck, you get in the fucking trunk.
Bitch ass nigga.
You feel? And I'm gonna say that, like, the fuck, you gotta keep me right here, dog. Like, real shit.
Hey, that's standing on your principles, for real.
That nigga, like, Sworn Detroit. You know that nigga? Take that nigga, go out. Disarm his
Oh, you
ass,
talking
unload
that
the
nigga?
clip on his
Hey,
drop the clip out the gun.
I seen a cop video from a year ago. Nigga tried to practice that shit, and he edited like him in heaven like a second after that shit. That shit was funny as hell.
That shit be so fucking funny. I'm the type to try that dumbass shit for real.
I'm the type to try this shit. Nigga got the gun right here.
At least put that, like, hit that bitch up or something, fool.
Shit up, they can still gonna blow it. If I hit it, I at least go like quick to the side. Boom, he blow it.
You gotta catch him off guard though. You can't. If you got a gun in your face looking at you, man, you gotta wait for him to like scratch it, itch to check his surroundings or some shit first. You can't.
No, good. That shit crazy. That is crazy. Damn. You fucked up ass world.
Shit crazy. But it's like we in it, and you can only. I'm big on optimism too. Like, yes, I'm in a fucked up world, in a crooked system with strange values. Yeah, and the world is stacked against me, but also I do have opportunities, and I do have avenues, and I have access to certain things to relieve me of certain things that are designed to inhibit me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like the same way Davidson doesn't necessarily provide equal opportunities to all students.
The #1 public school in Mobile.
Get the fuck out.
Separated. White on this side. You had the very wannabe thug Rollo superhero, Mobile heroes. Then you had the niggas like this type shit. I wouldn't even say average.
Yeah, I can't even say that.
Chill niggas type shit. Yeah. The niggas that, you know what I'm saying, can have a feature as well.
Balance. That's really just balance, motherfuckers. Like I can go kick it with these motherfuckers, chop it up with them.
On God, we really work like that.
And still go hang with the Mobile heroes.
The Mobile legends. They gonna
figure it out. You feel me? Do whatever the fuck.
But we ain't gonna shoot no shit. When they talk about that, you gotta slide. But like, you know what I'm saying? You can still dap them niggas up over there. Even though you know them niggas goddamn probably gonna end up dead or in jail.
That's probably the best thing for you to have that balance and be able to work in different environments and communities and be able to move around and be like water.
Oh God. Like that's
I always.
Hey, I always thought like that too, bro. I always been like, damn, I can be the nigga that can be like cool as hell with the hood heroes, dap them niggas up, knowing them niggas about to go to jail, like get killed in the next 10 years, and then I can go over here talk really articulate and with my white brothers or my smart black brothers, the nerds as they would say, you know what I'm saying, and fuck them type shit. So. And you go to school with a lot of them. They went to Arthur. I know a lot of people. They went to Arthur. Yeah. So yeah. That's it's called. What people call that? Not. I don't want to say code switching, but like. I don't know what it's a word.
But I feel like it's not really code switch. It's like adapting in a sense. I don't feel like I'm not being fake when like say I'm using slang or AAVE with my black coworker, and then when I go report to say this is like real life too. Mm-hmm. Like say I go report to my foreman when I'm talking to him, then I use a certain dialect, and I use because this nigga talk like this, and this motherfucker talk like this. So like I translate and switch between. You feel me? And it's like some overlap, but it's just how I communicate, and it's effective and efficient, and it works. So, but it's also like natural. Like if he talk like this, then I might as well speak his language, and you feel me, we'll move over there, and then speak this nigga language, and then you feel me. I feel like that's just intersectionality, really.
That's facts. I fuck with that. That is true. I always just think like that as well. Like all the high school, like just thought just like that. I even think about how like I probably said this story a million times to you. How at the time period when you was messing with old shorty, and she kind of disrespected me. Like what the fuck, cricket?
Man, we seen a big ass cricket at work.
That nigga jumped out of nowhere.
That bitch was like this big, fool.
For
It
real?
was probably
I ain't seen Craig that big.
my whole
Like,
big as fuck. That was probably the biggest cricket I've ever seen.
come on, bro. Like, you doing too much, bro. You doing too much, bro. Just jump away, hop away.
That bitch started flying. That bitch.
God,
pulled
you
out
flying?
the attribute.
Oh God! I thought y'all niggas just
Nigga,
hop.
what
Nigga,
the fuck?
I thought they just hop.
That's where they be involved.
Yes.
You were saying something. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
She
about
disrespected
old shorty
you.
and she disrespecting me. Like, I don't know why, but that shit hit me. I think that fucked up my mood for the rest of the day. Like, I remember she said that shit to me. Like, I'm cool with this girl now. At the time period, we weren't really that cool. But if I see her, I you know, it's all love type shit. But I ain't talked to her in a minute. But I remember she was like, yeah, we have a test next block, and the test was easy. Yeah, everybody should do so good on it. Oh yeah, you should do this, girl. You so and so, you so and so. Then she looked at me. She was like, yo, you. I don't know if you'll do that good. And I remember I was just like, bitch, what the fuck? In my head, I remember I had that same respect. I was like, bitch, you don't even know me like that. Like, I really could go off right now. And bitch, I had like a B in that class. Bitch tried to make it seem like I had a fucking E. Like, what the hell? You don't even know me. Like, and a lot of people don't even know, like, a nigga can get deep. Like, I know there's a lot of niggas that people that fam and people that watch me and probably like, you know what I'm saying? This is also our opinions and our views and our, like, how we all look at life. This is not us trying to change you. This is a way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? I know there's a lot of people that's Christians in the world. And, you know, it's just giving you, a way to look at life a different way. You know what I'm saying? Not
Different perspective.
Different perspective.
And his perspective is his, and my perspective is mine. Just putting that out there, because everything he say, I don't necessarily agree with, but like, you feel me? It's different perspectives than those.
Exactly. Just a way to look at it, because at the end of the day, everybody got their own life. Everybody got their
You
own
get to
journey.
choose what you believe and what you see as not necessarily the truth, but what you agree with.
Yeah,
And like how you choose to move.
Because, like I said, I'm a firm believer that you create everything with your mind. So, shit, you believe in fucking, you know, Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ be your savior and whatnot. I feel like when you die, you're gonna see Jesus. It might not be not saying it might not be the ultimate or whatever, but your mind's gonna create your reality. Like, I always tell people to watch the movie, What Dreams May Come. I think that's the name. When They May Come. It's a great ass movie. You need to watch that shit. It's basically about this nigga that died, his family died, and they had a outlook on like life and shit. And basically in their afterlife, the world they lived in was the world they created while they was alive type shit. So I always tell people to watch that shit, bro. So yeah. Shit great.
I was better than Shorty. I never did it. She was on my mind heavy. Fuck, I wrote a whole page. It was like
Hurt.
I don't even know why. This was at Auburn. This was August 25th. I wrote the time, the day, the date, all that.
I think I remember why just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I mean, yeah, I probably I touched on stuff without saying it, because like I know she be knowing shit, but I don't know what she knows.
Type shit.
And I wasn't finna spill the beans without, you feel me? I feel like it was like a certain amount of animosity, or like it was definitely weird energy.
Yeah, you did get a lot of weird energy from like them people.
Yeah,
Type shit. I don't know how shit is now. I know.
I don't get no energy from them.
Oh, you don't even see them. They not in my reality no more. Type shit.
Yeah. I mean, I see them on the internet, but I think I've seen one of them at Fusaki, but I don't even talk to her. Like, that was mutual. She was like a mutual acquaintance at best.
What about the other your little the black one? You cool with her?
Hold on, wait.
Come on now.
You're talking about wait.
Top one at the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Is that who you talking about?
No,
No, that's not who you talking about.
I was. Wait,
Bro, you know who I'm talking about.
bro, you
Come on,
talking
twin.
about the coach?
Come on, twin.
You talking about the coach? You talking about the double? I had the double back. Bro, we was in Marcos. Should I spin again?
No.
Oh.
Come on, twin.
Oh,
Come on, twin. Twin trick.
oh, my fault, man.
Yeah.
I don't even talk this. I don't even talk this right now.
Type shit.
She fought her, like she's still cool. Like she, I mean, let's try to go to the beach. I
Recently?
was just joshing. No, not really. This was like
A minute ago.
a year ago. Low key.
I don't be seeing nobody that went to Davidson for real no more. I might see him on the internet, like you say. But like niggas not in reality no more, goddamn.
Nah,
Hell nah.
niggas don't exist.
Like-
Niggas that's soft. That's all I know. Like I
Niggas
don't want to live that life. I feel like niggas plateau. Like it was like high school, okay, living it up, growing up, coming of age, and then like
fall off. Like niggas.
it's not even a fall off. It's just same
They
shit,
peak.
consistent.
Yes,
Yes,
they would say peak. As
Yes.
everybody love throwing up.
but it's not even like a peak is like this, where you peak and come down.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like niggas right now, niggas just like riding that horizon.
And either they gonna fall off or they gonna go up or they might just stay the same.
I mean,
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with staying the same, y'all.
it's up to them. But I feel like I definitely outgrew those people. I feel like that's what I like kind of told myself, and I believe that, but also I don't know. I think about it sometimes. Like, did I outgrow those people, or why is it that I don't click with those people, or mesh with those people, or relate to those people in a sense anymore? But I feel like I just that's just what it is. I don't relate, and like I'm not on the same frequency with those people. Yes, exactly.
Not on the same vibration. Bro,
Their
I always
vibes
felt
is
like
off.
that as well.
Mad
Like
weird.
high school, I feel like I always knew like you're gonna be cool with certain people now, but everybody you're not gonna stay cool with type shit. You gonna outgrow them, or y'all just never really like
It's temporary.
really that. Yeah, life.
I feel like I was heavy on that shit,
Stages.
especially like in high school. Like that's why I was so past like commitment and like relationships. I was not trying to do that shit, and it's like I feel like I didn't get trapped, but I was so naive, and I kind of just like I was so go with the flow, go with the motion, go through the shit. I was just like, this is what I did, and then it got to a point where I was like, it's not really what I want to do no more.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know how to express that and articulate that and kind of do what I wanted to do. So now I'm at a point where I like I learned from those experiences, and I'm definitely now I'm gonna be the one to set my boundaries, and I'm gonna like call it how it is, and like I'm not gonna let no fuck shit if I don't want some shit to fly, that shit not gonna fly like that. I'm gonna have to dead that shit unapologetically. I'm gonna keep it a buck, because I feel like I was the type to kind of try to preserve people feelings and like kind of put others before me, but it's like now I'm gonna put myself first every time. And it's like I'm not sorry about it.
Damn. By the way, we young niggas, man. So you know, everything's experiences, everything's life.
Shit can change. Shit temporary right now.
Also, this the man, the myth, the legend, man. He, you know what I'm saying? He was one of them he was one of them ones at Davidson, bruh. Type shit.
I wouldn't even.
I'm fucking around, but like, you know
I mean, low
you
key,
was up there a little bit, bro.
low key to an
Can't lie,
extent, but I was
to an
like,
extent. Especially
I
for
was
the
low key though, like I was-
middle class niggas.
Yeah. I was on some chill shit. It was a point where I was like, I was wild and reckless doing crazy shit, but also I was doing crazy shit under the radar like that. You
wouldn't
still
know.
like I still can't tell people to this day, like there's certain shit that I was doing and I was moving certain ways with certain people that like typical people would never know. Even people that was close and like around the shit didn't even know it, like under folks' nose type shit. So I was like,
Nigga say he a sly fox, boy.
nah, I was really like silent assassin
Silent but deadly.
on some real
Yeah,
shit.
this man.
But
Yeah, that is true though. Like, I feel like life's experiences and some niggas you just outgrow. Like, if I seen some of these people, like, obviously it's all love, but like the joke that everybody say, shit, I'll see y'all in the next 10 years at the high school reunion, see where everybody at on some materialistic shit. You know what I'm saying? Even though that shit don't matter, type shit.
But at the same time, if you still got the same swag and fashion, and like you still on the same shit, fuck around with the same. Well, I guess it's okay to be fucking around with the same folks. But that's cool. That's fine.
Shit, where we stay at, goddamn. Hey, I tell the Mobile Matrix. I say, shit, you graduate high school. Some niggas go to college. For the ones that don't, your ass gonna work. Have your little high school sweetheart. Get her pregnant. Get him. You have some kids. Send their ass to high school. Or work the rest of y'all life. Die. Mobile Matrix. And not trying to be a part of that. Me, Kerry, we always say that shit. And honestly, back to what he said about energy, like, back to what I was saying, how, like, certain people you just know you're going to be cool with. Like, all the people, like, real shit, all the people in Mobile that I still talk to, I done known longer than high school. Like, dead ass. Like,
well, yeah, almost.
I
It's
think,
either like, if I haven't known them since high school, I got friends that I've known before high school that know them, that have known them before high school type shit.
mm-hmm.
Like, both of the, like, the only people I really, like, talk to and fuck with is, like, my girlfriend, of course, and then, like, the guys. But I go back, like, middle school days, like, stomping grounds with the niggas, like, Day Zero type niggas. Like Justin, like, you know, that niggas from, like, 6th grade. Niggas, like, Marcus, all them folks from Clark. And then, like, people from St. Paul's, I guess, that I'm, like, cool. Like, we acquaintances and shit, because we just...
Same test.
Yeah, type shit. Like, we are in the same circles. But it's, like, it's come to a point now, like, we done took trips together. Like, them niggas really like my brothers. Like, I'm not as close to them as some of my other guys, but, like, I'm gonna still look out for them and make sure they straight. And we all, like, we move as a unit type shit. And we all good.
Like, for me, shit, I didn't know. I'm trying to think. Everybody I'm talking to, like, on regular, like, Kerry, I didn't know Kerry. He in my group chat, like, especially in my Instagram group chat, that's everybody's in there. I didn't know everybody, like, Kerry, shit, football, 9 years old. Tay, 9 years old. Mario, 6th grade, shit. Kellen, 6th grade. Ken, 6th grade. Like, everybody. JJ, Javoris, preschool. Shit, even you, 7th grade, because we was on the same basketball team in middle school.
Yeah.
Shit. So everybody, I didn't know it's been middle school. Like, if I met you in high school, I'm most likely not. It's only like maybe 2 people that I met in high school that I like real cool with.
Yeah.
And one of them people I was trying, like Donnie, that stay in ATL, like I'm supposed to go up there and work with my boy sooner or later type shit. Like he one of them people. So,
Type shit. That's what's up for real, though.
yeah, but that's kind of how I like to be. Like, shit, niggas did that for the moment, like shit.
I don't feel like there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
I feel like
ain't no love lost type shit.
like people fail to realize that shit, especially like young people. Well, my experience, like especially like in high school, like freshman, sophomore type shit, people don't realize that shit is temporary and like we not going
Life
like,
stages.
you feel me? Like the relationship we got now is only supposed to like grow and develop. That don't mean it's gonna be a lifetime like bond, but like I mean we learning from each other and growing, and at a certain point we gonna outgrow each other, and that's normal and that's natural, and that's how shit's supposed to go. If you doing shit the right way and moving towards progress, then at some point everybody's progress don't look the same, and everybody's success and everybody's fortune don't look the same, so you're gonna grow apart and have different values and different avenues from certain people.
And this might correlate to a point, but shit, I always tell my peoples, I be like, my boys, I be like, you live alone, I mean, you born alone, you gonna die alone. So at the end of the day, I always say, shit, I gotta work on this too. I was telling my boy the other day, preaching this to him because he got a girl. I'm like, bro, at the end of the day, even with your parents, bro, your parents, it's not always gonna be here. Shit, you 20 years old or you 15, you however old you is watching this shit. Shit, your mom and daddy might be 40 right now. Shit, in 40 years from now, they might not be here. 20 years from now, they might not be here. So you can't even be attached to your parents to a point. You can love them. You can love all the people that's in your life right now, but you might outgrow them. One day, you're going to die. You're going to leave that person, or they're going to die, or they're going to leave you. So, and this goes back to a whole ideology, whole spiritual system. They be saying, like, if you believe, like, go into the reincarnation system, you believe in reincarnation, law of conservation, energy isn't created nor destroyed, it is just in a cycle. You breathe in that, your energy is transferred to another life form, to another being, to another reality or whatever. You believe in that shit. They say you get reincarnated back if you still have earthly attachments, if you heard that theory before. I know a lot of things touch on that if you really tap in to like understand that shit. And if you ascend those attachments, you can evolve and like, grow to different realities. We were just talking about that in the group chat today. Actually, like I sent the video. It's like I know that's like a Hinduism, Buddhism topic. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, a lot of that shit is crazy. Life is just full of chapters. I used to look at my life like a book, goddamn. You got this chapter of the book, you got the next chapter of the book, you got this chapter. Real shit, bro. Real shit. So like, yeah.
I feel like
You can never be mad. All them shit is just emotions, bro.
during this quote unquote chapter, or I don't know how to separate this shit. Well, I guess I got this.
And some people can come back to your life. You might not be cool with them right now, or you might have used to be cool with them, but some shit can happen. Yeah, life is circular. Like they all saying shit linear, but really this universe is circular. Goddamn cycles, nigga. Water cycle, shit, times, all that shit. Yeah.
But I feel like, just like how you were saying, you like kind of out of touch with reality, while I'm more so in touch with and in tune with certain systems and politics and reality. I feel like when I was like back when I was like writing it here, I was kind of out of touch with shit and kind of like I wasn't grounded in a sense. Like I was just like I had so much on my mind, it was just like all over the place, and I wasn't really in touch with almost anything. I wasn't even like I was kind of in tune with myself, but at the same time I wasn't. And I feel like this was a way to like I say, materialize my thoughts and like kind of get in tune and like kind of start to draw connections and relate things to other things and like just want to calibrate in a sense, if that makes sense.
Nah, that definitely makes sense. I like that. I was say calibrate. Calibrate your thoughts.
I need to start fucking reading some more, bro.
Me, I just started reading this book.
I meant to bring Rich Dad Poor Dad. Have you read that?
Bro, I want that book.
I wanted to bring because we're supposed to be talking about financial stuff. And
bro,
like,
you
stuff like
read that whole book? Damn, bro. I know
I'm
Mario got that
from
book. Mario read the whole book. I got that shit. I've been reading a book called The Biology of Belief. Basically how basically goes back to your mind. Basically it's all about your mind. I thought it was a little bit deeper onto the psyche, but it's more so about how the human makeup is like amazing and how your cells listen to you. Your cells are you. So basically how your cells basically everything that you think affects your body. Everything you think affects your cells. So you think you're sick, your cells are gonna be sick. If you think you're healthy, you're gonna be healthy. That goes back to everything. Shit.
I was crazy on that shit during COVID. I was like, I just refused. Like, I'm just not into it.
Bro, I've been like really studying. Like, look up. Like, if you get time, if you want to write it down, I be sending my boys this shit. I don't know if they be listening. Like, if you really want to get on some health conscious shit, like Yaki Awaken, Yaki Awaken, and I follow this other nigga called Celestial on TikTok, Celestial something. Basically, they're telling you that all sicknesses are man-made. So all sicknesses are man-made. So basically, they're saying that yeah, it's like YAHKI, some shit like that. He deep as fuck. Like he kind of like new Dr. Sabi. Like basically, all sicknesses are man-made. Humans were not meant to be eating meats and shit. We're meant to be eating fruits. We're fruitarians. We're fruits because they love telling you that that's all that sugar is gonna be bad for you, but you know, fructose is good sugar. You need fructose. The sucrose and all that shit we get, these genetically made, is bullshit. That's what's giving us the diabetes, the cancers, and also they saying these diseases aren't even necessarily bad. The diseases is your body correcting itself. The pharmaceutical industry is the industry that created this system in colleges and infiltrated and teaching these systems that you need drugs and they banking off you the rest of your life. But really, everything that comes from the earth that you can put in your body is curing you. So they say fasting is the key. Eating fruits and fasting. If you do that for 40 days, there's a reason that Jesus went on like 40, didn't eat for 40 days, 40 nights. That's like kind of like allegory for fasting and shit. Like if you look at it like that. And yeah, so you can heal yourself from anything, bro. For real. Sea mosses, minerals, that's all your body needs, bro. Not that bullshit that you trying to make her eat. Like I be trying to get on that shit too. Like the only reason I feel like I'm holding myself back is because I still got kind of weight goals. Even though they say I can get on something called Alpha Sprout, I heard about. They give horses. They give them real swole ass horses. They give those. It's a sprout that you can eat to get you big. But I be stuck on like, you know what I'm saying, eating like proteins, chickens and fish to get bigger. But I also just seen a video today, bro. It was crazy. It was the Miami Dolphins. What the fuck?
You just dumbass shit like that.
Like, what the
you just have no purpose in life but to be eaten by some shit. I was thinking about it. Yes. I was like, what is a Beatles purpose? You remember I asked that question? Mm-hmm. I feel like low key, like there's certain shit in this world that's just meant to get ate and cycled up. Because like, you feel me? Like apex predators gotta eat, but they not finna eat that beetle. But like some gotta, you feel me?
That damn frog gonna eat that beetle,
and some gonna eat that. The fox might eat the frog. And
circle of life, like we say, everything's circular for real.
Cyclical in nature.
Fucking, but yeah, what was I saying? But oh yeah, I seen this shit on Miami Doctor. They gave, so it was a nigga that's plant-based diet on the football team. Is the niggas that eat meat. So one that eats like Popeyes and shit. So they all gave him burritos. One had a plant-based burrito, one had like chicken, and one had steak. They all ate it. So then they took their blood. They spent their blood in the little machine. I forgot the name of the machine. Yeah. And they spent it, and they looked at the blood and the plasma, it rose. And you look at all their blood. I could pull that video. I could send you that video. I was like, damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, that meat and shit really affects your blood and like your system. So basically, the person that ate the straight plant-based diet, his plasma was straight clear. You see through it. But the people that ate the meat, their plasma were like cloudy. So you can see all the shit, the harm the meat causes to your body. And that shit crazy because they love preaching that you need meat for protein, but really, okay, you don't need a meat for protein because how the fuck does the cow get the protein? The cow eating out the grass, the cow eating the plants. Goddamn. And they'll say, oh, they got certain bacteria in their system. No, nigga. Like, you can get your protein from certain vegetables and certain fruits. Like, I follow this one dude, he eats only on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and fast. Others don't eat shit and just drink straight water. And like, he swole as hell. Like, and he doesn't get sick at all. He like, that's the main nigga that be saying, like, your body creates sicknesses. Sickness is like man-made. Like, that shit.
Thursday and Saturday?
Yeah, that's all.
This nigga don't eat.
Yeah, that's all. And he's still 200 pounds. Straight. He eats straight. And he's straight fruits. Cause he says when your body doesn't eat food for like 2 days straight, your body starts producing growth hormone. So then he maximizes with that growth hormone, and he hit going in. Then you eat fruits, which is gonna and eat a lot of minerals. So lots of teas, sea mosses, honeys, bladderwracks, all that shit. I got a lot of shit to crib too, and like yes, that nigga like. And then he said he didn't start off like that though. He didn't start off like that. He started off just eating fruits and vegetables every day, and then he started fasting. Now he's at this point because he found out it secretes growth hormone, which allows him to keep his size. And yeah, so like the shit Dr. Say we talk about, they off them. So that shit crazy though, like the life we live. Like one day I aspire to like eat straight fruits and vegetables, but I can't do it now. I might try to transition to pescatarian, straight fish. That's what I said. I might try to start eating. That's why you see me like eating a smoothie bowl and shit today. But then again, even eating that, because I don't know the ingredients that Smoothie King put inside of it. Yeah. So like, that's why I want to buy a juicer one day.
Yeah, I have been big on like creating my own products. Like even stuff in my hair and stuff. Like I don't even use like creams and stuff in my hair. Like I try to use like clear products, like water-based stuff. And then like to moisturize my hair, like I made my own like rose water. I bought the different ingredients like glycerin and stuff like that.
That shit crazy because even with toothpaste, I seen somebody today talking about how she uses coconut oil and her teeth is white, like white shit. She uses coconut oil and this is some type of mint, like herbal mint, and then she puts something and she brushes with that. Her teeth white as hell because you know the toothpaste we use, if you look on it, fluoride. You know, fluoride is a chemical. That's an element, right? No, fluorine. Yeah, fluorine. It's a chemical that fucks with the way you think. It fucks up how you process. So like, it's crazy like a lot of this shit. And then like, you know, in a lot of foods we eat, I'm bad on these like, you know, a lot of these hot Cheetos and Takis, they contain like red 40. And red 40 is banned in a lot of other countries, just not in the US. Because the US don't, the FDA, like their approvals be bullshit too. Like red 40 causes cancer. And red 40 is also in rich crackers. It's in a lot of like red items. So I eat a lot of rich crackers, but they say that shit, a lot of red 40 causes cancer, and like all cancer is you know, cell rejection at the end of the day. You know,
like cell regeneration.
Yeah, it's like they say like really cancers is like your body reject like your cell mutating and rejecting the correction, shit like that. So yeah, that's some shit like in the black community. I feel like a lot of shit we deal with, like high blood pressures and diabetes and cancers, because it's the food we eat. Like at the end of the day, 100%. Like Dr. Sebi used to say, shit, disease starts in the diet. That nigga said he cleared blindness, he had AIDS. Like the celestial nigga I've been watching on TikTok, he said like, you fast, you can cure your AIDS, your herpes, you can cure all that shit, because the body's gonna self-correct itself. You don't need to fucking take them Tylenol and shit, because Tylenol and shit, that shit really just suppressors. That's not curing you, that's suppressing you.
Suppressing the symptoms. Prolonging a disease or whatever the fuck is causing liver issues.
And mucus is the base for all this shit. Like you gotta get rid of the mucus in your body, but at the same time, mucus is good for you because it's like pushing out. But but when you see mucus in your system, that's the first sign of sickness. Young niggas with knowledge, man. Talking this shit, bro. I'm trying to get more knowledge, bro. I'm finna start reading like crazy, like for real. Like I got so many books that I don't even read. I want to read Rich Dad Poor Dad though. Like I might buy a financial book just to see like what it's talking about, because it's a book everybody loves talking about.
I need to figure out how to get rid of my debt. That's been on my mind heavy right now. Like especially since I'm getting this checking consistent right now. Finding I was talking to Kendall about this, getting a high yield savings account and like putting that shit up, making that shit work. Well, not basically making my money work for me, but not in the sense of like passive income type shit. Like it's just a high yield savings account where I can put this in for X amount of months. Like not even no long term type shit. Just like putting kind of a lump sum in there and contributing to it and letting it grow, and then after a certain point just pulling it out and paying off my student, at least like bare minimum paying off the interest on my debts, you know what I'm saying, or on my loans, so they don't accrue, because those loans have compound interest, I'm pretty sure. And so like over time, as it builds up, then you end up paying more in interest than your loan was ever intended for. Like say you get a $3,000, $5,000 loan with some percentage, over time you could end up paying twice that, depending on how long you live and shit.
That's fucking with my mama just telling me that cars. Like I was thinking about getting this car. She was like, "Bro, you gotta pay so much money on the interest, trying to pay over 7, 8 years, trying to pay that car off. Like, look how much money you just giving the company because of interest."
But at the same time, buying with cash ain't necessarily the best option. I mean, it can be depending on the situation, but also buying with cash doesn't allow you to build your credit at all. So when you kind of make those payments every month and stay on top of it, then
you got your credit score. You got credit. You don't.
I don't have anything. So I mean, I'm kind of like I'm in a neutral position right now, where like I'm not bad. It's not bad, but it's not necessarily good either, because like I definitely want to build it, but at the same time I'm not in a rush to build it, because like I already got debts and shit enough to deal with as it is.
Come on, student
loans.
I mean, ain't nothing wrong. I feel like ain't nothing wrong with going to whoever your bank is and asking for a credit card though. Especially shit, you whoever you use, even if you use Chime, because I know a lot of people our age now, like a lot of people I'm talking to, from Candace, she do my hair, I was talking to her about it, Mario. Damn, these bugs going insane, bitch. What's going on? What time of night is it? Shit, is it insane hours? The moonlight getting y'all ass or something?
That bitch got blinded by the light or something.
See, don't be that. Be the fly that fly away. Don't be
fly away from the light.
Hey, don't be the sheep. What's that quote? They say one herd dog can lead 10,000 sheep. You know, you ever seen them videos, the sheep just jumping off the mountain and follow another sheep? Don't be that sheep. Don't be the one. Expand your mind type shit. But yeah, ain't nothing wrong. Like me, I haven't really built my credit necessarily. But I have credit actually because my dad put me on his credit cards. You know, I know you heard about that, how your parents can put you on their cards and raise shit. So my dad did that for me, and I'm trying to apply for my Chime card. I know they say on average it builds your credit score 30. So actually, now that you say that, damn, I can't even check I got a message from my bank today that my credit score went up. So
Wait, what is Chime? Is that just like a credit company?
It's a bank. It's an online bank.
Yeah.
So
That's probably what I'd be looking into, trying to get a higher savings account with. Is some type of online bank.
Chime is I love my Chime card. That's the card I use every day.
Yeah.
I need to go to. I think I'm gonna get a Wells Fargo too. Like I'm gonna get an account with them. Wells Fargo Chime, and I got a joint account with my dad, but I don't really use that shit no more.
Yeah.
So yeah. But credit shows them fucking companies and bureaus and banks how responsible you are. Are you gonna give them their money back? That's why you need credit history, and that's why you need a source of income. Can this nigga, cause it's like, why the fuck, like right now, like, why the fuck would I give this nigga $20,000 and he got no history, and he don't got no good score, he got a shitty score? That's screaming at this nigga not finna pay me back.
But see, doing stuff like the fact that I'm already thinking about paying off my loans and knowing, like, I feel like I know that I'm probably ahead of the game as far as like even knowing what a high yield savings account is, and like wanting to take, knowing that I need to and want to take those steps towards like paying off this debt. That's definitely probably gonna look good when I'm like applying for stuff. That probably help my score out some at least. Cause like, I mean that's still like a loan. Like that's still gotta do with my credit. So like when somebody say they wait to get out of school, wait till they get a job to start paying off their debt, then they shit gonna be way higher, way harder to do, and they still gonna have that on their record, and that number's gonna be attached to them. Whereas if I try to start now and like have it lower, then it'll be a lot easier for me to manage. It'll be more manageable, more like, you feel me? So yeah, just trying to at least take baby steps. Just moving, as long as I'm moving in the right direction and making progress, then I feel like
that's shit facts though, because like my mama told me, she said basically when she was young, she didn't have nobody tell her that shit. Running up her credit card is bad, so there's a lot of people that don't know no better. So as long as you have the information, you know better. You definitely do better.
Especially like with my dad being an accountant and like he like money like he's literate in certain things and like understands and knows how the system works. So like he's kind of instilled that in me. Like I don't have near as much knowledge as he does, but certain concepts and certain practices when it comes to money, I've gained from him and the way he moved. And then also like my aunt, she also went to FAMU. Like she went for free.
That's
like they didn't pay her. Yeah,
Mike should have came to fam, man.
She getting paid big bucks now too. Like, or she was. She don't even work no more. She retired. She was doing like some online like coding, I think, type stuff, programming or something like that. I think she worked for IBM. But she was in Houston working for a big company over there. But she ended up having some complication with her shoulder from a particular like illness. Basically, like her tendons are like looser. So like she like had a couple of surgeries on her shoulder, but they just were failed surgery. So she's got a bum shoulder basically. So she really can't work. So she just been living off. I don't know if it's been disability or I feel like they low-key try to deny her disability. But really, she just been living off. Like she retired early as fuck basically. Like off of the money she had. I don't even know how much she like was making for real, but I know it was a lot. And she like traveled the world, like speak other languages fluently. Like she's definitely inspiration. That's who actually I'm gonna call and talk to about the high yield savings account and like the best way, like which online bank and like the best way to kind of move around. Let her know my goals and like what I want to do, and ask her and consult and try to get an idea of like the best steps to take for myself. But yeah, having access to that, everybody doesn't have that. But like the fact that I do, I definitely need to take advantage.
Hit the ball game.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like, but also, it don't do me no good if I don't call her or if I don't reach out and try to access those resources. So like I'm learning now that when you have opportunities and access to certain things, then you like have to take advantage, because if you don't, then it's like obsolete and it's a waste at that point.
Like connections.
Yes.
Quick question. Would you say you have found your purpose in life?
I mean,
or you still searching?
I would say I'm moving towards it.
Would you ever consider doing psychedelics or like even some shit called, DMT?
Yeah.
like I seen DDG was talking about how that shit fries your brain. Like nigga love saying shit frying your brain.
I mean, like DMT will probably fry your brain.
Oh, DMT can
give. Wait, for real?
Basically, I've heard stories like you get on like a real bad trip. You gotta have somebody that knows what they're doing making it. So you have somebody that makes it wrong. They saying like you can permanently be stuck outside your body. But basically they say like you seen the movie Doctor Strange, right? The first one.
I think so, yeah.
But you if you ever seen on the Grand Source of Supreme, basically he punched that nigga's soul out his body.
Yeah.
That nigga went on a whole that's some shit DMT would do to you. Really like tell you like that's why DG was saying like, bro, you want to be so spiritual because it makes you want to be in the grass and shit, bro. That shit connects you because at the end of the day, I know you seen. We was having a deep ass. I know I told you we having a deep ass night in the group chat. Like me and Kellen be tapped in. Kellen tapped in.
Yeah.
But we was talking about how like when you seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, it was an episode where they were talking about everybody loves thinking that we are so separate, but at the end of the day, we are all connected. Like we are all energy, and we all are from the source, and we all gonna return to the source one day. And basically, yeah. Damn, where was I going with that? Damn, I just lost whole train of thought. You know how you just thinking of so much shit, you just lost it. But I know I was talking about like, would you consider doing drugs and shit? But like, oh yeah, DG saying like you fried, but nah, but the shit just connects you back to the source. It breaks down your veil and it makes your brain and it kind of like connects you to what you need to be connected to. Yeah. And like when you really think about it,
you can understand and comprehend shit that you can't even like imagine almost.
But then again, the average nigga think you're tripping. You're a tweaker. But shit, you look up
seeing visions from the other side.
Like
premonitions.
They be saying spirits walk around among us every day, but our minds just don't. You know what I'm saying?
You can't see. You can't observe them type shit.
And then like, if you look up George Washington Carver, you know they used to say him before he used to come down here to meet with George Washington Carver, the Peanut Man. They say, and they say he really created the first Model T. And you know, George Washington Carver I think was adopted or some shit. And then but they called him a crazy man. They cut off his balls.
They said he was a what?
They called him he was like had a white family.
Yeah,
and I think they cut his balls off.
Yeah, I think it was like something about raping their daughter, like to keep him from doing some shit like
but
that.
they said he was crazy. They said that nigga used to go outside, talk to trees. But in actuality, when you think about it, that nigga created so many cures and medicines and peanut butter and peanuts shit. They said that nigga was meditating about trees, and the trees would give you knowledge because the trees are life form. When you really think about it, that shit's alive.
Trees communicate as well. Trees got roots and systems underground that we can't even see.
Yeah, they just don't have the system, the senses that we have.
Yeah,
like you know they say what separates a human and a plant. I think it was like one chlorophyll atom or one. It was like one chlorophyll, I think, something like that. Yeah, so that's the only difference. Yeah, that's the only difference that we have with them. Like in that Avatar episode, they were talking about how the trees' roots spread across the whole entire world, and we're all connected, bro. And we're all from the same tree.
If you could like see underground at these different trees' root systems, that shit would probably blow your fucking mind. How intricate and detailed and like how extensive the systems actually are.
Just like that shit crazy. Like I've even read that our ancestors used to like how the fuck did our ancestors have cures to these diseases without having natural like Western medicines? Niggas used to they were so tapped in.
Medicine.
They were so spiritually tapped in and so like connected with nature that they were told like even like in Black Panther, you take from certain like plants on this planet, you get tapped into certain entities. But I even have a book in the crib. I read this was all like I used to read a lot in middle school. I read that when a woman is pregnant, there's something in Africa to where you can get your wife or the pregnant woman to pee on this certain plant, and it will tell you if it's a boy or girl or not. Like yeah, like I mean like shit's crazy. It's wild. So, yeah. And even like that's why I be saying like humans we're magic, bro. Our minds is magic. Even like I study Brother Panic. Brother Panic was like even sex. It's sex and having kids is magic. We're just so numb to it, but that's magic. You literally carry around the DNA with you every day.
So and you a person, a human.
And you plant your seed inside the woman or whatever, and y'all combine and y'all create another life form from nothing type shit.
I wouldn't call it magic though, cause like when I think of magic, I think of sleight of hand and tricks and like like different shit like that. That's like cool, but it's like it's not
Magic
real.
is science.
I think of it as like a power. Like we are powerful.
Yeah.
Like not. I get what you're saying, but I just like I think instead of saying magical, I think powerful is a more appropriate term to use than magic. Because magical is like, you know what I'm saying? It's like clowns do magic. You feel me?
A magic trick.
Yeah, I feel it's not like. I mean, I get what you. I know exactly what you're saying
too.
But yeah,
but like, bro, it's crazy because niggas. This nigga DDG was pissing me off, bro. Nigga was talking about some nigga Solluminati, probably one of the niggas that think we can fly. Dumb. He was just like, this crazy ass nigga.
I used to think I could fly, bro. In preschool,
bro,
I don't know how the fuck.
I've even read, bro, Panic talk about, look up occult lectures too. Occult lectures on YouTube got 100K now. Brother Panic is probably the funniest nigga that's deep as fuck that can really explain occult lectures. Like his lectures long as old. Yeah, Brother Panic, occult lectures. His shit gonna be long though. Like he be preaching, he be on that house dropping knowledge 4 hour long videos, 8 hour long videos. Really just like
that really, sound like trying to cram for a finals.
Yeah, like niggas just be taught like
I remember niggas was doing that shit for real. Like bro. Niggas was watching 8 hour chemistry videos to cram. They won't watch it all at once, but they was doing that shit like and working through that shit like that.
But when I tell you that nigga Panic is like the math teacher, that's who I really watch for. Like I used to watch him a lot for knowledge. Yeah. That nigga Panic, like he the book we have in the crib about astral projection. Me and my dad have a book in the crib, 2 of them, teach you how to astral project. And Panic, the one who we got the book from, and it's a deep book. I was trying to read it, but I stopped. And I'm about to get back on that whole type of timing, cause like how you was talking about flying, bro. Like that's why I want to do a lucid dream, bro. I was talking to Mario. I was like, me and him was in the car somewhere, and I was like, bro, I wonder how like a lucid dream really is. Like, I wonder if it's like vivid, like how we are right now. Like you in that dream, and it's looking like this shit, and you just flying and shit. Like what the fuck? That shit would be crazy. And he was like, probably is like that since we ain't never had one. And then like I know they say like everything projects in the mind, like birds flying and fish swimming at high speeds and mermaids and shit. That's all projections of you. They say those are like abilities that you have, or you have powers that you have that you can unlock type shit on some like deep shit. Yeah. I got a heat signature, but goddamn. Niggas be attacking your heat signature.
Fucking right about it.
Like, when you start writing your shit down every night that you wake up, that shit gonna get so vivid and you gonna like really remember everything. Then after a while you can lucid.
When I wanted to dream about something, I would like concentrate on it on the way to sleep.
Bro, I had a dream. Oh yeah, I had a crazy dream the other day that I was back in Davidson. I had a football game, but like we had like Redskins jerseys like from my park ball days, and like my grandparents was there, but and Coach Eubanks was still the coach, and I fucked up, and Justo was in that whole like I be having some crazy shit, and I left my helmet or some shit, and we already traveled to like Alabama State or some shit. I don't know, just wild, all over the place. But then they say dreams aren't meant to be taken like literal. They have messages, type to your subconscious mind and shit. So yeah. But like that shit crazy. But like when you really think about it, when you're sleeping, all it is try to focus on your thoughts. I seen Anthony Tate talking about it. A lucid dreaming is you focusing on your thoughts. So like, you know how like when you just close your eyes, you have all these thoughts popping up. Focus on your thought. Focus on that last thought before your body transitions away, and you'll end up in a lucid dream. He was talking about that shit. Then like living towards that, man. I feel like finding out the like mysteries in the world type shit. I don't want all the knowledge, but I do want to like know a lot of shit. That happens, like, because I feel like what we're taught and the extent to what we know is so much more to it.
Yeah, I feel like I always want to grow and like Like, I'm my biggest critic, and it's like, I feel like Erykah Badu said this shit. She was like, a wise man knows that he knows nothing at all, or like a man who knows some shit like that. But like basically saying that like wise people understand that they like compared to all the knowledge that there is, like what you know, your knowledge is like minuscule, and like always being humble and understanding that and willing to like expand your knowledge and grow and like just learn and being a student of everything basically. Like, I'm passionate about that and just like trying to pick up everything I can.
That's why I personally want a lot of money, which I mean we had this convo not on cam when we talked, telling you how I want money so I can be able to, and you were like, I mean you don't need a lot of money to be able to enjoy yourself and go find out secrets, but I feel like I just want a lot of money in this chapter of my life, and then the next chapter I want to go to fucking Japan, fucking China, and like gain knowledge type shit, and like cause I know like there's niggas over there that will really like teach you shit. Niggas over here, like bro, I remember, I don't know if you used to watch it. I used to watch Iron Fist on Netflix. You know that shit?
Yeah,
nigga, that shit was deep. Like niggas say he the Iron Fist because he would channel all his chi, his energy into his fist. Cause you know you have an energy within you have a chi. He would channel that shit in his fist and like just punch through shit, became the Iron Fist. And like I even like research talking about like your chi and shit. How you have an energy to yourself, you can outburst your chi. Even with your semen, like if you like this was a weird conversation, like not even on the weird shit. I tried to have this convo with my homeboys at fam. His ass got childish as fuck. But you know, like when you're about to nut or explode, whatever fuck. When you're about to nut, you know, like if you train, you start doing like exercises. I'm gonna say that, and like you start constricting yourself, like just practicing. You can, instead of ejaculating, that's the word I should have used. Instead of ejaculating, you can like ejaculate inwards, and it travels up your spine type shit, and goes to your umdula oblongata. I don't know if I might just butcher that, but yeah. And I know Panic, the nigga I was talking about, Panic used to say he used to do that, like channel all his energy up his spine to his brain. And they say once you do that, you can look through your eyes and you can project certain realities. And like he said, he used to make like on going train rides and make girls' nipples pop out, like and shit like that. Like he used to do some shit. That's what he said. Like he dead ass. This like a grown ass like man that's been like on this shit for years. He said like he was deep into his alchemy. That's alchemy. His alchemy and his that's the word alchemy. And that's what I feel like if this world was correct, they would teach us like alchemy, how to do certain things with your body instead of bullshit.
You don't be knowing though. Or I don't know. It's not that people don't know, but it's that people don't know.
A lot of people don't know it. Or the people that don't know keep it. That's what, like I said, esoteric knowledge, hidden knowledge. Only a few of those will understand. You know it's crazy looking at the earth, bro. But you know it's a concept like like when niggas say the earth is flat, niggas be like, bro, go to the edge of the earth and fall off. They be saying like if you look at a Hebrew image, it's like the earth is a plane with a dome over it, with the waters underneath, the waters above in the heavens. And they say like there's more than the flat earthers say there's more than 7 continents. They say outside of Antarctica. You heard how they say Antarctica the ice wall, and outside of the Antarctica there's more land and masses and shit. But the government won't let you explore Antarctica. Why is that? Because they know that. Because if you go to Antarctica, you pay like $20,000 to go to Antarctica right now. But it's only a certain amount of distance you can go. Yeah. The government and all the fucking different governments across the world, they're gonna stop you. And why is that? And theory is that there's more lands outside. Like I said, it's more to the earth than meets the eye. And I always thought like, I wondered like if you astral projected and shit, could you travel? Like that's what I want to astral project. I want to like travel, like just look at my body from outside and travel.
I think astral projection though, like I think I was watching a video or reading or some shit. But basically I think you can only go, like, astral projecting, you can only go where you've been.
Where you've been?
Yeah.
I never heard that one. Maybe either.
I don't know that.
But that's cool as hell.
Or at least like starting off, like it was one thing that I was like reading or like learning about, but like you could astral project by like envisioning a door, like a familiar door, just opening the door and walking through it, like in your imagination, like walking through the door, and like as you practice and get better, you can like start to astral project and like actually be in that place and like explore and kind of see different things. And as you get better, you can stay longer and see more detailed things in the room.
Like shit, I can believe. Like you ever?
I used to practice. I was practicing this shit for a little bit.
You ever used like? I think I almost had it. Like sleep paralysis is one of the easiest ways to do it. If you ever used to watch Adventure Time was a deep ass show. We just kids understand, but like you know how like Finn ass astral projected in one episode and he was just flying through like the world, just seeing people. It was an episode. It was like a part in the episode where the fox nigga was also in his astral body and he was reading the book and after Finn seeing they seen each other like what the hell, and then like he kept moving. He was like weird. And like if you watch the Doctor Strange movie, like that's what Doctor Strange was meditating and he could astral project and he had some battles with some other people in the astral world where he was like if he died in the astral world he would die in the physical world as well. Like shit. So yeah. It's crazy. Just like in the movie Soul, like you niggas was in the astral world, he died and shit. That was a deep movie. You seen that shit?
Yeah.
Putting that shit in your face too. Like Avatar, the 4 elements, that shit real. The Avatar state. He meditates. He gets knowledge from his ancestors, which is the past avatars. Fucking the spirits, the spirit world. The fucking don't have no fear. I know you remember the episode. He went to the spirit world. And it was this little monster, face-eating monster. And if he had fear, the nigga would devour the spirit. Would devour his face. He had to have no fear. Like, yeah, that shit crazy. I bet you putting that shit in your face. And like he had to unlock his 7 chakras, and if you remember, like I was telling about how you can't have no attachments. Your crown, maybe like your crown chakra, he couldn't have no attachments, but he loved Katara so much, but he had to let her go to like access his god, like Avatar power. Yeah, they be putting that shit in your face, though.
I don't want to find out. I'm sure he is, bro.
Oh, you see that nigga?
Right there.
That nigga chilling.
Knocked out.
Bro, crashed out. Hey, don't crash out, man. Don't be like these crash outs.
Yeah, go away from my life, bro. Don't go.
That was a cool little first one, bro. You know what I'm saying? I love niggas. I always can have talks with Mike. Mike, one person that I always had to talk back. I'm
gonna keep it open, man.
Yeah. I feel like some people, like even like our mutual homeboys, some niggas like they be kind of like awkward to talk about certain things, or they're awkward in general, so you can't really have certain combos. Like they just don't talk, or if they talk, it don't really be how you would want them to express themselves. So I feel like you did having certain people around that can really express themselves and talk about certain topics, because I feel like sometimes I'll be like, damn, I'm not able to like articulate to this person because they won't understand me.
You learn
and that's
shit
a lot
about
of people
yourself.
I'm cool with.
Just practicing articulating how you feel and what you think. That's a life skill in itself. So just even being able to practice that is great. But then also, what I was about to say, like,
You just pulled what I did earlier. Hey, just know niggas we cool with, niggas, even the close niggas, they cannot talk to you on a certain level.
Oh yeah, but like I'm gonna keep an open mind, even if I don't necessarily agree with what you're saying. I'm gonna definitely keep an open mind and like express that and like articulate. Okay, maybe I don't agree with this, but this is how I feel about it, and like, and it's never like no animosity. I feel like some people are so combative and they get closed-minded and stuck in their ways and stuck inside a bubble, and it's like they don't want to grow. They want to stay comfortable and they don't want to be challenged. And they don't want to challenge what they think. But it's like I'm always willing to branch out and step out of my comfort zone and kind of see things from different perspectives and understand.
I feel like that's a lot of not to like go at religions, but I feel like that's a lot of like Christians. Like you have to talk to Christians. It's a lot of open-minded Christians, but there's a lot of them that's gonna stop you. No, Jesus is king. God is God. He's gonna put you in His way, but they never, you know what I'm saying, branch out of with their thought process. Because at the end of the day, when you really think about it, you think the way because you're programmed, you're conditioned to think a certain type of way. We think ways as humans because we're programmed and we were taught to think this way. If you get outside that box and really evaluate yourself, you will see that you're only talking this way or thinking this way because it's a system, a school system we've been on. Your parents, your mom and dad fucking preach to you that Jesus is who saved us, God above us, he is he, this, that. So yeah, and I always been the person to where think outside the box. Don't be the sheeple that the elites, as they say, think we are. That's why I used to gravitate towards X, bro. I still be seeing a lot of his videos and he be talking about evolving, bro. Evolve your life, keep elevating, bro. Don't stay the same.
I'm big on that shit. Optimism and progress. Like, yes. I learned that shit. Like, even just taking baby steps and like, as long as you moving in the right direction, like if you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, crawl. If you can't fucking crawl, then bro, just fucking do something.
Do something, nigga. Like, fucking straight, do something. That nigga A said, bro, in school, nigga, in life, fucking, your purpose is to gain knowledge. Keep gaining knowledge. You can never have too much knowledge, bro.
I can't even have enough, bro.
You can't have too much, bro.
I feel like it's the same way, like with money, though. Like the same way I'm my biggest critic as far as like my skill set and like coming to sports and stuff. Like I was always my biggest critic. Like a coach, I feel like a coach has, well, I'm not gonna say never, but towards the end of my like sports career, coaches weren't harder on me than I was on myself. So like even when it comes to knowledge and like money now.
Fighting bugs out here.
But like Kim was saying, oh, you making so much money, and like yeah, I'm getting paid good, but it's like
that ain't no money out for real.
It's alright, like it's cool. This is a stepping stone. Like I look at it, like I see it for what it is. This is like, yes, this is relatively a large amount, but compared to what I'm trying to do with it, the shit like going to Atlanta, taking trips, paying off debt, doing this, eating, going partying, drinking, like the shit. Realistically, the shit I want to do with the money, this is enough. Like this is enough. This is okay. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no real check. Like I'm getting paid. I'm getting money in. I'm getting what I want. I'm getting what I need. But it's like this is a stepping stone towards this is a baby step towards the bigger picture and the vision that I have. I'm hustling right now. Like I'm working for this shit. Like I'm working hard for this shit. So it's like, yeah, the check good, but it's like I'm trying to get a fatter check with less work. Like I'm putting in work on the front end, but like in the ultimate scheme of things, I'm not trying to
trade your time for money.
Yeah, but I was thinking about that shit. Like, what's the most expensive thing you could buy that's not materialistic?
Your time.
I think so too. I agree, but I feel like that
When
probably
you
would have
really
been a
think
better
about
question without that segue, but you probably would have had the same answer.
When you really think about it, shit, your time is everything.
Ultimate,
you don't have. I mean, honestly, if you with a certain outlook, I feel like you do have infinite time. But as Cedric Eastman and Michael Hudson, as being this being that we are at this moment, you don't have infinite time. You have limited amount of time because shit, we're 20 right now. Shit, I know you remember when we was just in 12th grade. I know you remember we just entered high school. I know when we just entered middle school. Like my dad tell me all the time, you gonna look down the line, nigga, you gonna be 25. You gonna be like, damn, I'm 40 now. What the fuck? I'm 65. But then you're like, uh-oh. Like my granddad tell me, uh-oh, death knocking on the door. My granddad told me some shit like that 2 years ago. He's like, only two things in life I always gotta worry about. Damn bills and death. He told me this shit like 2 years. My granddad like 72. He was like, uh-oh. That's when he was like, damn. Uh-oh. Because my granny was just telling me, I was over their house the other day. She was like, they say God only, she was Christian, but she be like, what's it say? God only give you, they promise you three scores and 10. Ain't it that? I think the saying is 3 scores and 10, basically saying 20 years, 3 scores 20 years, so 3 times 20 and 10. So you only promised 7 years. So if you live longer than any more years than 70, shit, you lived a good life. Goddamn. Even though they say back in the day we used to live longer, but shit, yeah. 7 years ain't shit, to be honest. We 20 now.
I'm not gonna say this, but that bitch retarded. That bitch dumb as fuck. That was gonna crash out again. That was recharge from the.
Boy, he crashed out on his ass.
Dude, that
He
nigga
crashed out on his ass.
Makes that bitch a landing.
Nigga,
That bitch really landed on me.
he crashed out on him. He got fed up in the bullets. Ooh, shit. Oh.
They crashed out on me. That bitch over here. I hit his ass one time. He fucked up.
Trim. Bruh, trim.
He got a heat sense on his ass for real. That nigga.
Boy,
He really landed.
We fight the view.
I'm gonna slap box his ass.
That nigga big as hell. You miss? How you miss?
He retarded, fool.
You hit that nigga. Done. Done.
He better be.
Eli, that's a good one.
We get another end on. We won the fight.
And we want to fight. Your friends can be your worst enemies, man. Don't let nobody hold you back. And like, bro, your goals, accomplish everything with your mind and keep pushing, keep going.
Always
Your
progress.
journey. Always
Keep moving
progress.
forward.
Become a god.
Elevate.
Elevate. Become the avatar. Do not vanish type shit. Where the world needs you most. And on that note, we out. Appreciate y'all for watching. If you stayed this long. Oh yeah. Everybody at your rage in this hole. Everybody spam your rage, bro. I know this shit like an hour and 30 minutes. Spam your rage.
If you stayed this long, you might as well.
Oh
man.
God. Please spam your rage. I want a reaction, but please spam your favorite content creator. Please. And yeah. That's your father.